What's up, everybody? I like that intro so much. I almost played it twice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ReCoop. It is Monday, Labor Day, 7:30 a.m. on the West Coast, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. This show is brought to you by me not drinking anymore because 7:30 a.m. on Labor Day would not have been possible most other years. Oh man. And yesterday I had two fantasy football drafts and yeah, didn't drink. Good for me. Are we proud of me? I don't know. Maybe somebody is. No, nobody here is. Nobody actually gives a shit. I'm trying to do things that's for the best. Just gonna drink more coffee. Folks, here we go. Today's the day. We're gonna do a show. I'm gonna do a show on Friday as well. Make sure you tune into my Twitter space on Wednesday. I'm doing a weekly Twitter space Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And that's been a good one. We've done 3 of them so far. Have we done 3 of them? We've done 2 or 3 of them. I think 3. And they've been well attended. And I feel like the conversations have been good. So I feel like those will just grow and get better, hopefully. Yeah. I feel like we're entering into a weird time. I mean, today's Labor Day. So we're in the United States where a lot of the news is generated. And I don't feel like a lot of news is being generated right now, but I haven't actually checked. So that might be wrong. But today we're going to talk a little bit about, I know CZ did a Twitter space. Speaking of Twitter spaces, he did a Twitter space on Friday. He said some things that I think are interesting. China also said some things. There was a lower court, a smaller court basically said it's legal to hold digital assets. Hong Kong is leading the way in Asia for regulation, I believe. We had the whole MakerDAO thing using the Solana code base we're going to talk about. In the algo community, there's a lot of love for XRP and the XRP NFT community. We had some cool stuff happen there. I want to talk a little bit about Voy, my well-executed launch of that interview. I won't talk much about that. Let's not emphasize the negative, but boy, oh boy, did that, maybe to you guys that aren't living in my world, that wasn't a big deal. But the fact that I uploaded the wrong damn interview, I mean, not the wrong interview, but the wrong version of the interview. Oh man, it's because it took like forever to export and upload. And then it was like 11:30 at night when I finally got it all done. But that's not even a valid excuse because it took long to upload. So I had to choose the video before all that time. So I don't have any excuses. It's just dumb. Anyways, moving on from that. There hasn't been a ton of blowback from the Voy interview. I don't know what you guys think. You can put it in the comments. We can talk about it. We can talk about it on Wednesday if you want, or we can not talk about it. You know what I mean? There's lots of options. So yeah, we'll talk about that. And yeah, FTX is moving some money around. What's going to happen there? That's it. Let's go to the chat. Let's go to a little chatty. All right, here we go. There they are. Here we are. Let's see. Good morning, Cooper Troopers. Sheck. What's up, Sheck? Good morning. Dustin, good morning. GFY, good morning. Hello, Everyday Algonaut. Hello. Ludo. Taco Coin Vet. Oh, by the way, you saw on the graphic early that Gora, a decentralized oracle based on Algorand that is exploring and navigating other chains as well. I believe they're on the Arbitrum testnet as we speak. Polygon and I think Cosmos is on their radar. So they are expanding. They are a friend of the show, a sponsor of the show. We're adding 2 new sponsors, folks. One is going to be Algo Foundry. Now, while, you see all these grants that have gone to waste to build necessary tools in the Algorand ecosystem. And meanwhile, there's something called Algo Foundry, which is actually creating all of those tools. And for some reason, not many people know about the tools that they're creating. So it makes no sense. So we're going to try to help. I'm going to try to help them with that a little bit as they try to help the show a little bit. So that's what we're doing. If you don't know, Algo Foundries, Algo Ray, Algo Ray, I think, Algo Safe, Messina Bridge. They build really cool stuff. So we're going to dive in with them. And then also a homegrown project that I like. That's an artistic project, Twine. So we're going to talk about that. There could be a possible Devin collaboration happening. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's actually the natural evolution of the Devin story, because Devin, as the videos have actually just really been writing exercises on my part, where you, the audience, are my writing partner. So anyways, Algo Foundry, Gora, and Twine, thanks for your support of the show. I hope I can return that in a way that is transparent and fun and gets people to understand your stuff. Cool. But all right. So before we go in, let's go through the chat a little bit more. Bento's here. What's up? Django, what's going down? Chris Swenner's in the building. We're just talking about voice. So good morning to you, Chris. And Mort, good morning. Good afternoon. I guess every time Mort says GM, he actually means good afternoon. Gub says good morning. It's popping in here. That's right, Dustin. And Zarmian, GM. Who is Coop? Coop is Agash, you know who Coop is. Agash knows who Coop is. CJ, what's up? Good morning. Aaron, good morning. Michael, good morning. Who is Coop? Coop is the legend, Eric says. I'm going to have Eric call my wife. Abe, what's going on? Who's already drunk? I'll raise my hand. You deserve it. You deserve it. It's probably, if you're not on the West Coast, it's not 7:30. It could be 10:30. You could be on the East Coast, Abe. And if you're on the West Coast, 7:30, Southern California, a michelada would make a lot of sense right now. Oh, man, it sounds good, actually. Me drinking a michelada on the show right now, it would make it so much more fun, wouldn't it? Thanks, Dustin. Yomo, what's up? What's up, Yomo? We talked about XRP NFTs. We'll talk about him in a second. His project, Borks. Zerkers. Screen share that Zerker, baby. You know I will. I actually haven't claimed. I do have a Zerker waiting for me at XRP Cafe, and I have not done it. Aaron I'm 3 years now, booze. I'm assuming 3 years without booze, because most of us are 3 years into booze. You know what I mean? I mean, anybody that is watching my show and in crypto has at least 3 years under their belt of booze. Whether you do it anymore, at some point, you created some damage. Hi, Freddie. Hello. All right. Who's drunk? Come on. Abe's like, dude, I'm not letting this turn into a fucking AA meeting. Fuck that. It's Labor Day. He's like, Coop, if you want me to continue watching this shit, you better stop talking about how you're not drinking. What's up, Cody? What's up? Crushed it. That's right. Oh, yeah. He's talking about my launch. Oh, man. Oh, good. Good thing Void didn't pay me for that interview. They'd probably be upset. He pays me in love, though. All right, CJ, what's up? Players fuck up too, Coop. That's right, CJ. Thank you. It's funny. You're too self-critical, Coop. You guys don't understand. I was so mad at it's just because it was so stupid. So stupid. Man, I don't like being stupid. I got to let it go. All right, Coop to the moon. That's it. Algo Learner, if you have $100, where would you put this liquidity to? Coop or Gora? Shut up, Algo Learner. Aaron, Coop. Hey, Gov, since I'm the only one objective on it, I think the Voy interview was wonderful and a moment in history. There you go. Yeah, Gov is that is something that's cool about the Voy community. And I don't know if you guys watched the interview, and you should. You should watch the one that's up now, as I intended. But I don't know if you guys watched it, but, Gov, the whole Voy community are very supportive of this interview. And I think it was a good interview. I think Chris did a great job, but it's not like I asked him the easiest questions in the world. I think it could have been like, wow, why was Coop asking these annoying questions? But there was none of that. So, I mean, I think that does speak to Voy and that team's interest in being transparent. Oh, and by the way, did you guys know that they did invite me to be part of their testnet governance? So I'm going to do it. By the way, if Algorand invited me to be part of their incentivized governance, I would do that too. Like, people want to hear what I think about different projects and want me to help vet that. I'm in. All right. Algo Addict here. That's who you are, Aaron. I love it. All right, cool. I'd have to agree with you, Gov. Gora all the way. There we go. Freddie wants Gora over Coop. All right, cool. Very unbiasedly agree. All right. And hey, gangster, nice to see you back online. Thank you, No Face. The Voy interview will go down as a pivot point in the history of blockchain. I'm honest. I dumped all my algo for Opal. I'm a bad boy. Well, you know what, dude? You do what you do. Opal, I think, is still building, and you can be a bad boy with your boy Lee, because he's a bad boy too, isn't he? I don't know. A lot of people don't like Lee. I'm sorry if you guys hate him, because he's always been nice to me. He's always been good to the show and has always been nice to me. All right, who cares? Kevin, cheers. Coop calling in from Worklaw Airport after Algosphere here. Oh my God, how am I even talking about it? Have you seen Sarah Jane? And she is a awesome member of the Algorand community, a champion, all of the cool things. She was in Warsaw teaching people about Coop. Love it. 10:40, about to be beach time. Look at you, man. It's about to be beach time. Good for you. It was actually, it looks nice outside. Oh, it's good. It's going to be a good day. All right, here we go. You guys, there's a lot of you talking to me right now. So I'm going to move to this interview. The interview was great. You should do a live stream next time. We can. All right, cool. And then somebody else was honest. They dumped all their algo for Coop. Live stream would be way too long. It's for real. Yeah, if Chris knew he was live, I don't think he'd ever let me go off the air. He would just be like, let's just talk about Voy all day. All right. So what we'll do is we're going to seriously win shoe. Okay, and that's another thing, Abe. Win shoe. Now, those of you, I wrote a little play, a little one-act play on Twitter. But I do want to say the other night, my brain broke a little bit. And the fact that the Algorand community is waiting for shoes made me, it was one of those things that just made me laugh so deep. It was just so absurd to me that we're all waiting for shoes. Oh my God. I think that's so funny. I just saw a post from Diplo, and Chris Rock apparently walked 5 miles out of Burning Man and got picked up by fans and took him back to LA. You know, I have to say, I've seen a lot of kind of like rude stuff about Burning Man, and I live in Southern California, so all of these people, so many of these people, friends of mine, go to Burning Man, and and they've been going for 10, 12 years. And as far as I don't know how long it's been going on. I've never been to Burning Man. But, they all do psychedelics and have a good time in the desert, right? And, expand their thing and live off the thing, and then, trade the stuff. They do all the things, right? It's a big popular thing. Now, I have no hate for it. Obviously, 10, 12 years ago, my buddies, or however long it was ago, my buddies that went over there, it was a different thing than it is now. Now it's like more Coachella than it is Burning Man. But I certainly was looking, and I'm laughing, but I was looking at the state of what those people are in right now. And if they were not those original 10 years ago type of people that would survive that just fine, that's probably really, really brutal and scary for all those people. So, I mean, I don't want to make light of it or anything like that. So I hope that everything's fine. I haven't seen the news, but I will say, the only thing I'll say is that, did any of those people check the weather report? All right, folks. Hey, let's move on and let's just look at CNBC. You know what I'm saying? Let's go check CNBC and see what's going down. Maybe they'll have something on Burning Man. All right, we're going to share. No, that's not share. Cool. Disable camera. No, share screen. Cool. Let's go to CNBC real quick just to see if there is any news. I know the market's not opening, so that doesn't matter. Let's go back here. Do this. Put me in the corner. Put old Coop in the corner. And let's see. All right. So you guys can see this, right? Yep. Everybody's trying to catch Tesla. We got Xi skipping G20. He's never missed a G20. So I don't really know what to make of that. I think this, because it's in India, right? So there's a big conflict happening between China and India. I have a feeling that the United States is on Team India. All right. And so is Algren. Maybe Algren's not on team anything. Okay. So U.S. Commerce Secretary says didn't pull any punches during recent visit to China. Oh, I'm sure you didn't. Okay. Let's keep going. All right. Italy's bank tax remains controversial. What is bank tax? I mean, could they make crypto more desirable? That's another thing, folks. Doesn't it feel peak embarrassing to be involved in this community right now? And not that I'm actually embarrassed, but that people are embarrassed for you when you tell them that you're still in this. That's got to be a good sign at this point. If you can stick around and deal with how bad of a look it is to the normal world, I have a feeling that we are going to look at that. Tesla to zero. CNBC has got Tesla at zero. That's funny. Okay. Anyways, stick in it. Stick in it, folks. Because guess what? When Bitcoin's $100,000 next year, and everybody will be, aping into all the stupid coins that you guys can invent. But okay, breaking news on Labor Day: Tesla went to zero. All right, nothing. Did you see that? Nothing. Let's just look at Bloomberg real quick to see if they did anything. That's more exciting than CNBC. There you go. G's G20. Oh, let's reflush. Let's refresh this. Reflush. Hawaii teardown shows chip breakthrough and below to U.S. sanctions. There you go. So they're still producing. BlackRock, PIMCO, bond investors are betting that the Fed hiking is over. If BlackRock is betting that the Fed hiking is over, then you should bet that the Fed hiking is over. Stocks are rising on signs that the China stimulus is taking hold. They're going to start cutting interest rates. Maybe, not in the next couple of months, but that's going to start. The talk is going to be about cutting, and we're going to start seeing this bear market turn around. Alien species threaten food supply, public health, and cost $423 billion. The fuck? Oh. Okay, shut up. Sorry, I've said shut up twice, jokingly. Once jokingly, two to something that wasn't even talking. So I guess jokingly as well. All right. Burning Man Festival death probed with thousands still stranded. But there's a beautiful rainbow. That's a sign for all of them. There's probably something dancing right here. There's a naked man with dirt all over. You know what's hard about why it's so hard for me not to make jokes about Burning Man? Because my wife hates it so much. And she loves my jokes. I mean, she really has judgmental feelings towards Burning Man. So she is such a wonderful audience for all my Burning Man jokes. But since people are suffering and I don't know. I like to let I think that people should do whatever the hell they want, to be honest. I don't care. So if you want to go to the desert and sleep with some guy on acid in a poncho, I have no idea what's going on over there. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, let's move on from that. China's mortgage relaxation spurs weekend sales. Oh yeah, they got big weekend sales on some real estate. China banks are lending billions to Russia amid sanctions. All right, everything China to send premier to G20. Okay. Billionaires are helping out the rhinos. Oh man, did anybody else have a fantasy football draft this weekend? And then how did you do? I was not prepared. I'm not crazy about my teams, but I rarely am crazy about my teams. But man, I picked 9th and 10th in both of my drafts yesterday. And I have a feeling, I mean, people will say, oh, but you get 2 good players. You don't have to wait. You do have to wait at 9 and 10. You have that long ass time before you can get it. And 9 and 10, you just miss out on the elite, basically. I did get Kelsey in one league and Stephon. I got Stephon Diggs and Kelsey in my first round in both of the leagues. But I don't know. I think 9 and 10 was a crap place to draft, personally, especially when you're not prepared. Like, it's better to do it early in the draft so you can guarantee to get a stud, even though Stephon Diggs, if either of those guys stay healthy, Diggs or Kelsey, they're both studs. All right, you're not here for fantasy football. If you want to be here for fantasy football, I could probably do a fantasy football thing. That might be fun. I probably won't do that because only like 18 of you might watch. But maybe, I guess it could bring over people. Be like, hey, we're doing fantasy football, but have you heard about algo? That's what the people want. All right, Putin sees gas up. Okay, who cares? Okay, let's look at CoinDesk real quick. We'll look at prices, and then we'll move on to what I came here to do. All right, CoinDesk. How's crypto doing? Oh, you're pushing down. Sweet little crippies, pushing down. All right, Singapore's new president, a former central bank chairman, has called crypto slightly crazy. Okay. XLM is rallying. Grayscale's legal win versus SEC makes spot Bitcoin ETF approval more likely. Okay, none of this is interesting. See, the news is dry, but I have some stuff to talk about. All right. Now we're here. So Bitcoin pushed down a little bit this morning, just under 26. XRP is at 51. No, it's at 50. Solana's just under 20. Polkadot's under 430. How's the Tether peg? That's the same. Same as DAI. How's USDC? USDC is fully pegged. Okay. Let's go down here. Avalanche under 10. Monero is up $1.42. $1.42. 142. All right. Where you at? Where you at? Algorand. You can build Uber on top of it. Algorand. Remember that song? Go directly to jail. Oh, those were the good old days. We were in peak trauma at those points. It was actually fun. That's a good video. All right. So Algorand's at 9 cents. Bummer. Stacks, 45 cents. You guys big ordinal fans? BSV, 56. Algorand, barely ahead of BSV. I'm laughing. All right. That's enough. Let's see how Bitcoin is, how are they doing? So this is ETH, Bitcoin, Ethereum is up a little. It's basically sideways. No, okay, so it's a little down on the week. Definitely down year to date. But it looks like there was a little bounce here. That's ETH, Bitcoin. And then we'll look at, did I queue it? Yeah. And here's Algo Bitcoin. Algo Bitcoin is actually down. That's all red. All time, Algo is down 99% on Bitcoin. In the 5 years, is down 99% on Bitcoin. In 1 year, it's down 76.31% on Bitcoin. Year to date, down 65%. Booyakasha. Not great. I'm sorry for that booyakasha thing. All right. So let's just talk a little bit about this, kind of the bigger story that happened last week. And I mean, look, let's just look at it. I feel like it's interesting and it can lead into our VOI conversation and it can also lead into the Algo XRP conversation. So this is the biggest news of the last week until we get whatever, we'll get to, you know what, actually, sorry. Now that I'm saying that, might be, since we were just talking about China, let's just knock out China real quick. Knock out. I'm certainly not going to be able to do that. All right. Okay. So annoying. Oh my God. Somebody shoot Forbes for what they're doing to my screen right now. Okay. Crypto suddenly braced for a game-changing China earthquake that could hit the Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Cardano, Dogecoin, Solana, Tron, and Toncoin price. So a lot of very specific prices. Now a top court, I thought it was a smaller court, a top court in China, which has recently moved to open up Bitcoin and crypto trading to the mass market in Hong Kong, has written a report declaring crypto is legal property and protected by law. We mentioned that earlier. Virtual currency is not classified as an illegal item. Therefore, under the current legal policy framework, the virtual currency held by relevant entities in our country is still legal property and protected by law. Identification of the property attributes of virtual currency and disposal of property involved in the case. Okay, great. At some point, the strategic embrace of crypto technology by the PRC will catch the attention of U.S. policymakers, Chief Policy Officer at Bitcoin and crypto exchange Coinbase. Chinese courts don't create a legal framework around anything without the blessing of central authorities. The court report follows Bitcoin and crypto companies in Hong Kong, a special administrative region of China, being issued licenses to offer crypto trading to the public under a new regulatory regime. Last month, the first licenses were awarded crypto exchanges Hashkey and OSI. Despite China's 2021 Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto crackdown, which saw it expel crypto companies and so-called miners who maintain blockchain networks and crashed the Bitcoin price, yada, yada. In June, the chief executive of the stablecoin, Jeremy Allaire from Circle, who oversees 28 billion USDC stablecoin, said he sees enormous demand for digital assets in emerging markets with China and Asia at the center. Allaire told Bloomberg, Hong Kong is clearly looking to establish itself as a very significant center for digital asset markets and stablecoins, and we are paying very close attention. We are paying a very close attention to that. So there you go. And this is more of the same. Local Chinese court argues cryptocurrency is property despite Beijing's crackdown. Now this is, I'm here at, what is it, South China? A local Chinese court argued that cryptocurrency is legally protected as property in China. Okay, we just saw that. Okay, we don't need to go through this. All right. What the hell is this site called again? Yeah, South China Morning Post. Right. I think that's like a Western, obviously it's a Western news thing for China. All right. All right. So let's go over here real quick to this. We'll talk about CZ real quick in this Twitter space that he did. All right. This is what he said. This is what CZ said on Friday, giving all of you a little bit of hope that the worst might be behind us still. Binance is way ahead of the game on U.S. regulations. CZ struck out against what he said was a FUD aimed at his company amid heightened regulatory scrutiny in recent months. Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, better known by his initial CZ, let's go with that, is not intimidated by the recent storm of regulatory and media scrutiny aimed at his company. Instead, he sees an opportunity for Binance to prove its merits as it faces what he says is FUD. In a Twitter Spaces event on Friday, CZ accused critics of attempting to paint his company akin to FTX. Despite the widespread FUD, CZ says that Binance has only proved its strength by maintaining its large user base and market share. Okay. We are a much stronger company today than we were 2 years ago, I think. Okay, that's cool. And we are way ahead of the game in terms of regulatory compliance. CZ's defense runs counter to the accusations levied against him, Binance and its U.S. subsidiary, Binance US, by the SEC, which launched a lawsuit against it on June 5th. In the complaint, the SEC alleges that millions in company funds were moved between companies owned by CZ and what the agency says was a wash trading scheme. The SEC also accused Binance of operating as an unlicensed security exchange and illegally operating in the U.S. The SEC's lawsuit is not the only regulator taking aim at Binance. The CFTC sued Binance for what it alleges are violations of U.S. trading and derivative rules. They also face legal scrutiny in Canada, Australia, and France. Although CZ is right in asserting that Binance remains the world's largest exchange, the lawsuits have taken their toll. Binance US saw its market share evaporate by 78%, yada, yada. He struck a confident tone. There was positive regulatory developments in France, Hong Kong, and Japan. The Ripple Labs and Grayscale wins. CZ said it was his view that involving the courts in deciding regulatory questions was a bit unnecessary, but added more communication with U.S. officials would lead to changes in how regulators deal with cryptocurrency. All right. Anyways, so you see that he's defending it. That's good. You'd like to see him come out and defend this stuff for his own sake and I guess the industry's sake. Or is the industry better off without him being the largest, without him running the largest? That's the question. Probably we're going to have to deal with that. He has recently also come out with saying that he believes that DeFi protocols are going to become better or bigger than, these central like Binance. So he might be laying some groundwork there for the future of Binance Smart Chain and Binance and it all moving on chain. So there you go. That's that. All right, let's get to what I was going to talk about and what I want to talk about more. But there was also something else that I wanted to, let's look at, where's CoinDesk? Was it on CoinDesk? I guess it wasn't because we looked here. But there was, it was something, it's just pointing out that more people, oh, here you go, had a product. So as he's saying everything's fine, Binance has had a product departs as executive exodus gathers steam. Mayor Kamat's departure follows those of Chief Strategy Officer Patrick Hillman, Senior Director of Investigations Matthew Price, SVP for Compliance Stephen Christie, and Asia Pacific Head Leon Fung. Binance has seen another senior executive depart the company, heading for the door after almost a year and a half at the cryptocurrency. We can confirm that Mayor has stepped down from his role as product lead. We are grateful to him for helping guide Binance through some of our most explosive growth and wish him the very best. A former vice president of product at travel agent Agoda, Kamat joined Binance in 2022. Their departures were linked to the way founder CZ responded to the investigation of Binance by the U.S. Department of Justice, according to reports. CZ described the reports as FUD. So we know that CoinDesk, anyways, I'm not even going to say that, but they're saying right here that these people are leaving because of the way CZ has responded to the investigation by the Department of Justice. These people are leaving because they don't want to be hired by, they don't want to be part of a company that is the Department of Justice is coming after. I mean, it couldn't be any more clear. How it's going to shake out after this happens, the Department of Justice is going after CZ. He's saying that DeFi is going to overtake TradFi or, centralized. I think he also means centralized exchanges. So CZ is preparing. He won't travel to any countries that will send him to the United States. So this guy's in trouble. He's probably done a lot of stuff financially that wasn't great. All right, enough. MakerDAO. Co-founder floats using Solana code to build a new chain. You guys all read about this. We won't spend too much time on this article, but Rune Christensen's latest MakerDAO proposal explores a Solana fork to launch a new blockchain. The new app chain is part of the so-called Endgame plan, as previously reported by Blockworks. The plan is intended to improve MakerDAO governance and ensure that the protocol itself becomes more self-sustainable. It's been in the works since May 2022, with the Maker Constitution receiving approval earlier this year. Endgame itself is split into 5 phases. The final phase, phase 5, will deploy a new chain, now known as New Chain, as a hub for the backend tools supporting MakerDAO. And if you don't know, MakerDAO is responsible for DAI, the stablecoin. The most important reason for the new chain is needed, of why the new chain is needed, is that it will allow the ecosystem to use hard forks to gracefully recover from the most severe form of governance attacks or technical failures. After having researched all the different options available to act as the foundation for New Chain, I believe that the Solana stack is the most promising code base to explore further. He argued that the code is engineered well and benefits from being designed long after the bottlenecks and challenges of blockchains were already well understood. Yada, yada. If the MakerDAO community voted in favor of the proposal, Christensen suggested that a symbiotic relationship be formed between MakerDAO and the existing Solana community. This could be achieved through maintaining an independent client or providing funding to the Solana ecosystem. It would be strategically beneficial to ensure there's a 2-stage gravity bridge from New Chain to Solana alongside the bridge from New Chain to Ethereum. It would also provide a useful boost to the network effect of the entire multi-chain economy. Aside from a Solana fork, Christensen argued that the only other contender for launching Maker's new app chain would be the Cosmos SDK. The downside, he said, is that the Cosmos ecosystem is not as efficient as Solana, which may make it more expensive to maintain over time. Cosmos also doesn't have a strong central foundation organization like Solana has, which could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay. So I guess he's saying it could be a good thing or a bad thing, that Cosmos is, I guess, not as centralized as Solana. That's an interesting point. All right. And then Vitalik. Get out of here. Speaking of Solana, Vitalik says, yeah, okay, you guys are with me here. Vitalik sells MakerDAO stake after CEO Christensen suggests Solana-based blockchain. Vitalik has liquidated his remaining... there's this. Vitalik Buterin has liquidated his remaining stake in MakerDAO worth about $580,000. The move follows MakerDAO co-founder public praise of the Solana blockchain codebase. Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin sold his entire remaining stake of 500 MakerDAO tokens, receiving 353 ETH, about $580,000 in return. Buterin acquired his initial stake of 1,071 Maker tokens in April of 2018 when the price was 905. That would leave him with the gains of about 27% on the tokens he sold today. Buterin last touched his stash of Maker tokens in April of 2021 when he donated 100 tokens to India's COVID relief fund. So he didn't like it. Crypto exchange Bitfinex holds Bitcoin on his balance sheet. Well, sure it does. Doesn't it print Tether and buy Bitcoin and put it on his balance sheet? Isn't that what happens? All right. Okay. BitBoy sponsor Stake sees over 15 million in suspicious funds outflow. All right. And then where are we at? We're right here. Oh, and then here we go. Want to see this? Co-founder of Solana responds to the MakerDAO news in a how do you call it? In a bring us all together moment. Maker considering Solana's tech is a win for open source and has nothing to do with Solana's mainnet or Solana versus Ethereum. I really hope that people in the Solana community don't use this as some cudgel to attack Ethereum. Ethereum is awesome. Solana wasn't built in a vacuum, and tons of things that make Solana special were built based on Ethereum's research and development. So there you go. And it totally is obviously excited, especially when you hear things like MakerDAO being like, oh, we want to contribute. We're going to create a bridge. We're going to contribute to Solana's, we're going to give money to Solana. It's going to be a mutual love fest, yada, 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 yada. So totally comes out with some love. Now, this brings me to the point. So there you go. That's it. So MakerDAO is like, you know what? We want to do some things a little differently. We're going to create our own chain. It's going to be called New Chain, and we're going to use the Solana code base. It's open source. We're going to use it. It's fast. It's all this stuff, right? Vitalik's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm going to sell all this and let everybody know that I don't love it. And then Toli's like, no, guys, let's be awesome because this is really cool for Solana. And then we find out that Cosmos was the only other option. Now, there's a lot of people out there, in Polkadot, Parachain, Algorand, Voy. Your friends at Voy decided that they were going to use not the Solana code base, but the Algorand code base. So here's the Voy Twitter. You can follow them at Voy_net. Now, Voy is doing the same thing that MakerDAO is doing, but with the AVM. And even Voy is, now they're not an app chain. I actually asked that question to Chris in our interview. He doesn't like the idea of an app chain, but one of the main things that Chris said about Voy is that it's going to be hyper-focused, especially in the beginning, on certain niches. And it looks like memberships, ticketing, stuff like that is something that they're going to be hyper-focused on. And I'm sure NFTs, but, anyways. So, look, I know a lot of people in the Algorand ecosystem are nervous about Voy. They feel like it is a threat to Algorand. And if you see how it played out, well, I mean, look, it makes sense, right? You're seeing it play out right now. You're seeing, well, that's not actually how it played out because Voy's not leaving. Like in some ways, it felt like MakerDAO was leaving Ethereum to use the Solana code base. Well, it's more like Voy isn't really leaving Algorand to use Algorand, but still, it's like, look, guys, we need to build stuff. This is happening everywhere, and Toli said it. Open source is cool, so anybody can do this. If you want to launch Voy 2 tomorrow, you probably could if you knew what you were doing. I'm sure Chris and Gov wouldn't love it. But yeah, and there's a whole vibe happening in the Algorand ecosystem. And I think it just makes a lot of people uneasy. You see, I mentioned it earlier. We're going to talk about Zerkers in a second, Borks, and the horses, Thirstober horses, stupid horses and tiny horses and all that. Two tiny horses. They're going to XRP as well, multi-chaining it as well to XRP, and Borks multi-chaining it to XRP. People are actually doing the multi-chain thing, the thing that everybody says is going to be a multi-chain world. Ethereum people right now are like, it's not going to be a multi-chain world. It's only going to be layer 2 on Ethereum. We're the home base. We're the one with the only value, right? That's the way they talk. But that's not the case. It's going to be a multi-chain world, and cool code is going to win. Solana, by very smart people at the MakerDAO, have decided is their best option to build using. Got to be something good about Solana. And then Voy deciding not to use Solana, deciding not to use the Cosmos SDK, deciding not to be a parachain on Polkadot because they're done with Algorand. They didn't do any of that. They're like, no, we're not done with Algorand. We actually think that we can just do the economics better and be more focused in our approach. So let's do that and try to maybe have a mutually beneficial relationship. I'm open to exploring it. I'm open to it. I'm open to almost anything at this point. Like at this point, guys, like we are in such a crazy bear market that seems like it's ending, but it has been going on and on and on. It just like takes this endless patience, and they're trying to kill you with this Binance thing by just dragging it on and Tether. It's just been endless FUD forever on this stuff, and it's probably there's meat on the bone, but it's just going on and on and on. I don't even know why I'm saying that. It's just because it does feel like we're waiting. We're waiting for shoes to drop. We're waiting for shoes. The Algorand community is so shoe waiting. You know what I mean? We're waiting for shoes to drop, to put on our feet. Oh my God. Why am I talking about shoes? Anyways, the point is, is that I'm open to anything at this point. We just got to get through. If it makes sense, if it's honest, if it's transparent, if it's doing something that's actually good. So let's see. I'm gonna give Voy a chance. But let's talk a little bit about these cool projects right here. This is Hurley and Yomo NFTs, Bork Borks and Zerkers. These are the Bork Borks. They have an arcade style game website. They're bringing utility to XRP NFTs. Is that how XRP sees it? I think they should. Play to earn arcade, Astro Explorer, XRP algo. And this, look at this. Hamza. I think this is a XRP creator. Just grab this. How did I do? Bringing people over from XRP. Imagine them getting their Zerker. Can we give H&Y NFTs some credit for the naming of their stuff? I like Bork Borks and I like Zerkers. Well named, folks. These are the Zerkers. I'm excited to see which one I got. How did you get two? I thought you were only allowed one, Argonaut. Okay, they've landed. This guy's got a sword in his mouth, I think. Oh, this one's like just saw something intense with the cowboy hat on and the Mog glasses. All right. Anyways, so this stuff goes both ways. So H&Y NFTs are over there on XRP. They've got me opening a wallet, locking up 10, 11 XRP. And then, of course, I'm going to buy more. I'm not going to just put 11 XRP in a wallet. I've just opened up a Zoom wallet. Is that how you say it? Exum? An Exum wallet. An XRP wallet. I had never had an XRP wallet before. I'd never owned XRP. Now I own a little XRP thanks to H&Y NFTs. Now, also, I don't know what this dude's status was. Where is he? Where's the dude? Whatever his name was. Whatever that guy from XRP we looked at earlier. That guy may have never had an Algorand wallet. Now he owns a Bork Bork, and now he's going to see other cool stuff. And he's going to have the stupid horses make their way over to XRP, and he's going to be like, "Oh shit, I want to do that cross chain too. I want to support these guys. They're supporting me." And then other NFTs in the XRP community are going to see the support and the cross chain love, and they're going to be like, "Oh man, Algo's kind of going through the same stuff that XRP was going through, and they were created by that brilliant dude. Like, let's have some fun with this community that's actually helping lift up our community." And then Rand Gallery is going to move over to XRP. And then, now all these Algorand people are going to be more comfortable going over to XRP because they're going to feel like they're supporting one of their own. And then hopefully something, will come back on the algo side. So you just got to be relaxed now, folks. My chain is the only chain and your stupid days are over. Right now is open-minded time. Plant your seeds. And when you get to the other side of the bear market, hopefully you have a little more exposure. If something bad happens to Algorand, you have an off-ramp in Voy, an XRP, Polkadot, Parachains, whatever it is that you're into. My baby's up. I don't care what you're into. If you're into freaky stuff, do it. There's Thirstober. This is Thirstober right here. This is the artist behind Thirstober. I like her shirt. I kind of want that shirt. Can I have that shirt? Look at her. Anyways, I'm gonna stop. It's like that. I think the problem was the third, like, kind of just quick glance. What a jerk off I am. All right, but she also creating a cool. Here we go. Having some fun, some meat. Manage, edit, assemble, transfer for breakfast soon. See, she's making all the compatible layer items. This is for XRP, I believe. So it's all very cool. I wish them all the best of luck. You know what I mean? What are we doing here? All right, let's go back to you guys. Are you guys still here? I do feel like I've just been talking to myself. Steve Harwell is dead. Pulse chain. What's going on here? I'm almost anything. That's what I'm saying. Look, I know a lot of you have been watching my show for a while. All right. I'll take a sip before I say all this. I don't even know what I'm going to say. I know a lot of you have been watching my show for a while. My journey started with Bitcoin. I've never pivoted away from Bitcoin at all. I'm adding to my Bitcoin as aggressively as these dips happen. You don't buy on green days these days. All right, folks. September is gone, whatever that song is. Don't buy on green days. You buy on red days, especially in this market. And you make sure you DCA. So if it does take off, you go. But right now, it doesn't feel like it's going to take off. I don't know. But I can't predict it anymore. I've been saying it's going to go down for a while, and it has pretty much. So I've been right about it for now, but now I'm starting to get uncertain. I do know that and I'm not giving anybody financial advice. Certainly buy on green days if you want. I don't care. And don't buy on red days. Just don't do anything if you want. None of my stuff is ever financial advice. And I've ended every single video since the beginning of the show with, unless I forgot to put it in on accident, for the love of God, this is not financial advice. But all I'm saying is that I've been excited about Bitcoin from the beginning. I still am. But I always thought that especially when it came about most use cases for all this stuff, that there had to be something better. And, I had an evolution. I landed on Algo. I got very excited about Algo. I became part of the community. I got excited about the people like the Silvio McCauley's and the Chris Pikerts, and then more recently, the John Woods. And there's lots of people to be excited about when it comes to Algorand, the technology. If you use it, there's no second bests. There's no second best. Does that make sense? It's just it's a very great user experience. So at times I think people joke like I'm the Max Kaiser of Algorand. Okay. Which is fine, but it was all genuine. It was all my genuine enthusiasm. And now as we've gone and we've gotten a lot of things, you just got to stay open. Like there's been a lot of things to be concerned about. Now, am I gone? Do I not like Algorand? No, I'm here. I'm talking to you right now. I still own Algorand. I have 1,477 Algorand NFTs. I love it. I love the community. I'm here. But I mean, look, if Void's going to do something interesting, I want to participate. Why not? It's still using that same tech. Now, do I have questions? I ask them a lot. I ask a lot of the questions that I have in that interview. If you want to know what my questions are of Chris and Void, I've asked a lot of them. I can't really think of one that I forgot that I wish I had asked. So I do ask the questions that I'm concerned about, and he gave pretty good answers to all of them. So cool. And then with XRP, like, have I ever really been all that interested in XRP? Not really. But I mean, I got that wallet. It's a great wallet. It's a nice looking wallet. It's got lots of different things, and you start to see, and you're like, wow. And now you're seeing XRP after that court decision. They're a behemoth. So maybe all of these things are dragging us, and in the end, maybe Algo just takes off, XRP takes off, all of them take off because we have a big altcoin season. Who the hell knows? But I'm rambling at this point. But all I'm saying is that it's okay to go multi-chain. You don't have to be 100% loyal or whatever it is, like the people that are, you don't have to be, I don't know. Shit. What are you guys saying? Are you guys over me rambling yet? Let's see. I'm going to go through the comments real quick. I'm going to start. We're getting towards the end. I'll start from 10 minutes ago. I'm here to announce I've left Void to launch Void 2. There you go. Arcade and prizes for both sides too, baby. That's it. Dumping my maker on that news, Gov. Win shoe. Did someone say shoe? No shoe. I make shoe. This is what I love you guys. I also am open to anything at this point. Yeah, for sure, dude. Win Tovoy Discord. Is it mostly for devs? Hamsa's awesome. There we go. Hamsa, thank you. Imagine them getting their Zerker and understanding the game traits are only on Algo. Imagine. Bought on secondary. Discord Void is for anyone interested in participating in the testnet. Devs are obvious. NFT and coin creators, collectors and enthusiasts. At a minimum, come. Launch a node and have some fun. Of course, Yomo. I'm excited about what you guys are doing. And Hurley Bird, Yomo's partner at H&Y at the Borks is a long time Algorand NFT artist. I just let him out, huh? Just my Couldn't keep the baby in the bedroom for another 5 minutes. Just had to let him walk down the hallway and start yelling at me. Steve Harwell is dead. All right, the lead singer of Smash Mouth. Jimmy Buffett, Smash Mouth. Algo Bambino. This is the first time I get to see live Coop. Well, Ricardo, welcome. Ignore that last ramble. That was kind of incoherent. Hey, Prithvi, what's going on? This guy's a good follow on Twitter. He's a trader if you're into trading. I feel like he's an underrated account on Twitter. Give him a little bit of love. No, AC Max. This is not financial advice about Coop or anything. Buy shoe, Abe. Jing Chain. Please don't buy anything that Richard Hart is involved in, Smokey McPot says. Brandon, you were very excited about DGB. And I will tell you, and that just letting them out of the room. I'll let you know I was, and it goes back to me thinking I love Bitcoin. I continue to support Bitcoin, but there we go. I continue to support it, but from the beginning I was like, there's got to be something that I was fixated on Bitcoin being, money that people would move. So things like Litecoin and Digibyte started to make sense because you could move Digibyte very, very fast. It was a fork of technically Litecoin, but it's Litecoin is basically Bitcoin, so it's all very similar. And there was always you had Bitcoin, and the little brother was Litecoin, and the other little brother was Digibyte, and I believed in that. And then there was a whole bunch of there were some issues. There were some issues with the total supply, supply cap. There was a lot of fighting in the community. There was a lot of you could see that the founder of Digibyte had burned so many bridges in the industry. And it just kind of was like, was this going to work? I don't know. And I completely was like, I'm being silly about this. Like, when it comes to proof of work, it's probably going to be Bitcoin. And as my wife would like to point out, or Litecoin, because at least Litecoin's on PayPal. That's what she used to say. So I was excited. I was enthusiastic about Digibyte. I was, because I felt like it was a solution to Bitcoin being slow and expensive. Anyways, Kaiser Sose of Valgram, maybe. You thought, because I reveal myself at the end. I've been revealing myself the whole way, guys. Thanks for the answer. Are you still a Digiboy? I mean, I own a little Digibyte. I'm not going to let go. I like the community, and I have nothing against Digibyte or that community for sure. And like I just said, it started to, the narrative got a little exhausting. And I think I rightfully pivoted towards that type of ownership being mainly in Bitcoin, and a little bit of Litecoin and a little bit of Digibyte. Don't feel weird about the tribalist reactions, and I don't. And you guys are being super supportive. So like much of the drama in my life, it's all in my head. Sheck says Algo's not a cult, even though I shave my head and run around town with an Algo tambourine. You misspelled tambourine and you screwed me up, Sheck. God damn it. Man, still love Algo transaction speeds. It couldn't move any faster. I'm sending, I actually, in my boredom, was like, should I start a Silvio alt account? Just start doing everything that the Algorand community wants. Your DGMV. Brandon remembers. I never owned any DGMV, by the way. I never owned one DGMV. Is that still a thing, by the way? Proof of life. Dogecoin is just Litecoin with a funny yellow dog. Yeah. Digibyte, fun fact, basically saved Dogecoin, and Litecoin adapted a bunch of Digibyte stuff. So, Digibyte was a bit of an innovator in that world. Talking about PayPal, has anyone used PayPal USD? No, but I did see Colorado DMV. I saw an article about Colorado DMV is using PayPal to accept Charlie Lee, fuck the world. Colorado DMV is using PayPal to accept crypto payments. AC Max thinks that Algo is the only thing that's faster than Superman and Flash. Yeah, Algo Learner. My boss wife says the same thing. Just buy Litecoin because it's on PayPal. So people use PayPal. I don't know if you guys know. And that's good news for PayPal because I don't think people were. Well, I think people didn't think that. I think people thought PayPal was dead for a long time because they didn't know that PayPal owned Venmo. So I think PayPal is actually making a lot of good decisions and they're keeping their company alive by moving into crypto. But to answer your question, whoever asked it, I have not used the PayPal stablecoin. All right, folks. Anything else? Let's go back real quick. Let's just make sure nothing fun happened in this hour of fun. What am I doing? Sorry. Early bird prices are in for only 4 more days. The state of crypto. You can go hang out with like 200 people in Washington, D.C. and talk about regulation. Funniest man in my affection for Larry David is huge. I find him to be the funniest man in the world. Okay, before I go, even though my baby's screaming, I'll tell you my Larry Dave story. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I got a job bartending and waiting tables at a hotel called Chateau Marmont. Chateau Marmont is a very where all the celebrities go. It was down the street from my house when I first moved here, and I was waiting tables one breakfast, and it was there was a smoking area. There was lots of stuff. I think I signed an NDA, so I won't be on my show talking about it. But there's no NDA here. I'm sure nobody cares about this story. But anyways, Larry David is at one of my tables, and there was always this place is crazy. I think what's his face, Belushi died there. What's her face, Courtney Love lived there. There's all the crazy stuff happened at Chateau Marmont. If you guys ever want to look into it, but I'm waiting on him, and he's having some sort of meeting, and we have this really funny back and forth. And I was having a hard time figuring out how to drop the check because they were so deep in conversation. And then everybody left, and it was just me and Larry David. And I go to kind of give him the check. He's like, "Why didn't you give me this check earlier?" And I was like, "It's because I didn't want to interrupt." He's like, "But isn't that and I can't remember what I said, but he started laughing so hard, which I haven't been able to remember since it happened. But he laughed so hard at what I said. And then he tipped me like insane. And then I found out later that he's not usually such a big tipper. And then in one of those seasons, he has a funny back and forth with, right after that in the newer seasons, he has a funny back and forth with the waiter that I feel like was inspired by me. All right, folks, my waiter days. So there you go. That's the end of my show. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? He's been there. He's been to Chateau Marmont. Yeah, it's a place. It's a place in Hollywood. There we go. Look, there's me in that store. There's me in CoinDesk. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. So, next thing I'm going to do this week, media-wise, is probably on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Twitter. So make sure you're following me on Twitter. Will you follow? If you guys will start following and liking my good posts on Twitter, I promise to start doing this stupid engagement. I've completely ruined my timeline. I need to stop responding to this garbage. Who cares if I make money on Twitter or not? I'm starting to believe that maybe I just need to go back to creating value on Twitter and having fun, interesting things to say rather than responding to stupid large accounts. So we'll get to that. I probably still talk basketball and football on occasion, though, on those accounts. And so Wednesday at 1 p.m., we can talk about whatever you want. We'll figure out what happens over the next couple of days. There's always lots of fun things that happen in the beginning of the week to talk about on a Wednesday. And then I'll be back on Friday to recap this week. It's September. Everybody thinks that September is going to be a terrible month. Bitcoin ETFs. Are we actually excited, by the way? I got to go. But are we actually excited about, I mean, I wouldn't put a penny into a BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. I would not put one Bitcoin penny, one Satoshi in their custody. But I am excited for other people to be able to do it, I guess, for the price. But are you kidding me? I am far too paranoid to let those guys be holding my Bitcoin. It seems so obvious to my paranoid brain, by the way, we'll end with this, my paranoia, that this is all a scheme to kill. Maybe not Bitcoin, I guess. But I mean, are we really going to give BlackRock infinite inflows of money to buy Bitcoin and custody it for when the government decides that they want to fork Bitcoin? And now everybody in the BlackRock ETF is stuck with the forked Bitcoin because it's part of their terms and conditions. They're forking it because of ESG or manipulation or whatever. God, I hope that's not what happens. But believe me, I would be looking at alternative ETFs to put my money in my, from my Fidelity account or whatever. But we can talk about that another day. Your fiddle leaf fig looks great. You really? It's the angle. If you were actually in my room, but this is, I have to say, these are very temperamental. I've watched my wife kill these, and she's like, you're taking care of those plants. And I'm surprised. I mean, this is, the tips aren't looking good. This one's hard. You can't really water this much, but you obviously can't underwater it. But I'm actually pretty surprised that this has lived as long. But if you got the full scope of this fiddle fig, you would realize that it's on its last legs. But it's still got some life kicking. That's his good side for sure. 2 months have been positive in September, all time. 2016, 6%, 2% the year before. Yeah, the September is typically a bad month, and there's only been a couple that have been pretty good. So yeah, we'll look out for it. I think we're going to get I think in September, we're going to get the Binance, whatever is going to happen to Binance that's going to be started. We're going to get that huge reaction. And then probably in October, they're going to start launching these ETFs, and you're going to wish that you weren't too scared. But I think it's all but certain that we're going to get some sort of at least large fine. Now, if there's a large fine to Binance, and that seems like it's the end of what the Department of Justice is going to do to Binance, that large fine could actually pump the market. AC Max says, I've killed cactuses. I can't keep a rock alive. Yeah, I know. I mean, the trick with some of these is that you don't water them too much. The cool thing about a fiddle fig I've found, and I don't know if I'm right, maybe, if he knows what a fiddle fig looks like, he probably knows a little more about this stuff than I do. But the cool thing about a fiddle fig is you don't want to move it. I think you don't want to water it frequently, but it doesn't mind a large water bath. It bounces back pretty well when you really drench it in water, but it wants to dry out a bit. You know what I mean? That's I'm not an expert at plants at all, but that is my little bit of knowledge about a fiddle fig, because this thing has lasted longer than I was anticipating. They hate being moved. Yeah. And every time I've moved it to kind of clean up back here, it's like it reacts in a weird way. So yeah, back here is really, yeah, see, here you go. I'll show you this is how good. I just touched that leaf in the back, and this is how good that fiddle fig back is doing. So it's not doing great. All right, folks, I appreciate you. I'm going to go get my baby. He's in Florida. He knows they grow into big trees in Florida, for sure. And they don't have to move when they're trees. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for coming in. If you were on YouTube and part of the chat, I appreciate you as always. If you're on Twitter watching the stream from there, I appreciate you as well. And I'll see you Wednesday on Twitter in the Twitter space, the ReCoop space. And then I'll see you back on Friday for a weekly recap.